So, this is an episode that I think had a lot of people talking when it originally aired, or, even months before it originally aired, because I didn't really get into Dragon Ball Super until, maybe the fourth arc, so I don't really know what was being talked about back when this stuff was originally being released. But this is the episode that I think really got people. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that because we already had the movies, so it wasn't really that big of a shock. But anyway, let me get right into the review. So we start off with some images of hell, and we see the typical hellish fire pit, the hellish ice pit, and then we go down into the depths of the ocean, and then the world gets flipped upside down, and now we're in a field of flowers with a nice bright blue sky, and then we see all these fairies and bunnies and bears and all that just having the good old time. And swinging from a little cocoon is Mecha Frieza. He's being tortured by these things in Earth's hell, and he is just not very happy. So then we cut to that Frieza ship that we saw at the end of episode 18, and the man in charge, Sorbet, says that without Frieza, the Empire's falling apart and that they need to revive him. One of his subordinates, Taguma, is a little hesitant about this, but saying that, one man couldn't possibly change our fortune. But Sorbet's like, no, you don't know Frieza. He will definitely get this empire back in shape. And Taguma has no choice but to go along with it. And so they set a course for Earth because they haven't been able to find the Namekians. And Earth is the only other place that they know about that has Dragon Balls. So then we cut back to Beerus' world where Goku and Vegeta are still training with Whis, but they're still no match. Whis says they've gotten a little better, but they need to improve on their weaknesses. He tells Vegeta that his main weakness is he's too tense and he doesn't allow himself to relax, whereas Goku is way too relaxed and has a tendency to drop his guard. And Whis tells him that if he can't, fix that flaw of his, it'll cost him big time. Back on Earth, Piccolo is babysitting little Pan, and he's actually enjoying himself. And when Gohan and Videl return home, he's not upset or anything, but you can kind of tell that he didn't mind babysitting Pan at all. But as they're talking, Piccolo's like, do you sense that? And Gohan's like, no. And then after a minute, he's like, oh yeah, there's some bad energy coming from a few coming from some part of the world. Sorbet and Taguma arrive on Earth, and they corner the Pilaf gang in a cave, and the Pilaf gang actually managed to gather all 7 Dragon Balls for once, and they were about to make their own wishes when Sorbet takes the Dragon Balls from them and has them summon Shenron. So they summon Shenron, and Sorbet asks for Frieza to be revived, but Shenron's like, I could do it, but his body was sliced to pieces, so there's really no point. But Sorbet's like, it doesn't matter, we have a new regeneration technology that could restore Frieza's body to its prime without needing, without any difficulty. So Shenron's like, okay, and brings Frieza back to life in pieces, and they gather up the pieces real quick. Shenron's like, what do you want for your other 2 wishes? And Sorbet didn't even know that there were 2 more wishes. He contemplates reviving King Cold, but all of a sudden, Shu and Mai shout out wishes for 1,000,000 Zenny and the world's best ice cream each. This pisses off Sorbet, but before he can do anything, Taguma's like, we have to get Frieza into the rejuvenation pod quickly, sir. So they leave, and the Pilaf gang go off to enjoy their 1,000,000 Zenny and their ice cream. Piccolo and Gohan, of course, notice that the sky went dark, so they have a bad feeling that whoever just used Shenron just is going to make their life a lot more difficult in the coming future. So a few hours later, Sorbet and Taguma are talking, and Taguma still isn't very confident that reviving Frieza is the best thing to do. But before they can do anything else, the rejuvenation process is complete, and Frieza is fully revived in his completely organic form, and everyone is just stunned by his power. I mean, of course, compared to what our heroes are right now, Frieza's nothing, but compared to the power I guess these guys have ever seen, he's pretty damn strong. And on Beerus' world, Goku senses some bad energy, and Vegeta's like, you're just trying to slack off on the chores. But Goku's like, no, something just happened, something not good. And that's where the episode ends, with Frieza laughing over finally being revived and having his living body back. Overall, again, a good episode. Not great, not spectacular, but just building up to what's happening. Frieza's back once again. This is like the third or fourth time he's been revived. Well, not revived, but brought back in the show, including the movies, which are non-canon, I know, but still. But from the few lines we got at the end, Chris Ayres is doing a good job with his Frieza voice, which I had no doubt that he would. And just overall, it was an okay episode. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.